So, what happened last time is that we basically mitigated the daily demand. We had the chalk. So, what we're looking for is for price to continue bullish and respect the daily internal high and internal low, internal structure. We just mitigated uh, that daily demand in discount after that has inducement in front of it. So I'm looking for price to continue bullish from here. But for that, I need the chalk, which is that line there, just to confirm it. But for now, we can trade higher time frame and see what we have. So we're still bearish, but we reacted from the daily demand. We got the chalk, so we're in phase C pullback. So we can trade the pullback until potentially um, our uh, supply, extreme supply. That's the only supply that I found and mitigated there. So let's just follow price until we get there. For now, let's follow medium time frame structure and see what we got. So we have this internal range right there. If you want to trade bullish, then I'll need to see some price or some or price coming back to my extreme demand. So let's see what will happen. All right, we basically got another IBOS right there. So now we have a new internal range. All right, so that's our new internal low. Okay, let's draw our demand. So we have uh, that demand there. I'm just gonna take the extreme as well. So refined extreme as well, right there. I don't see any demand right here. We have inducement there. It's a bit far away, but I would count it still. That's our inducement. Let's see if price will give us any reaction or any TP. So did we get the chalk there? No, not yet. Let me see. All right, so M15 is still bearish, right? We're still waiting for price to go to one of the key levels. So we have this unmitigated supply right there, and this unmitigated supply there. All right. Let's see what would happen. So waiting for chalk before price continue bearish, perhaps, and start the pullback. Nothing is happening now. Okay, we got that chalk. So that was our low. That was another low. So that was our chalk there. So price is potentially bearish, looking to play the internal pullback. Did we get it from any level? No, not that one. We didn't really get it from any level, so I'll just wait for price to give us more clarity. And technically that was the entry, but we didn't get any mitigation. That was the mitigation. That was the entry there, but I don't trade price. I don't trade counter internal unless it's phase B extreme, but this is not phase B extreme, so no. We do have an LC1 there, so could work, could not. Yeah, that's what I predicted. So price just swept the low and pushed to the upside. Right, we got that chalk there. Right, after the sweep of liquidity, so I would suppose we're ready to continue bullish. Yeah, especially after that big pullback, right? Because we could consider that as our internal after the break just right there. Yeah, I would. I think I would, yeah. So we got that sweep, we pushed higher. Price didn't give us any entry right there. Didn't. We swept liquidity and pushed again higher. We left an unmitigated demand. All right, let's see if price will react from there. Do we have any LC to A? No, we don't. We break. We broke higher. All right. Let me see. So you got that choke there. Price pushed higher. Failed to close above that high. All right. Let me just double check. Would I consider that as internal or no? Not really. No. I'll still consider that as my internal structure. We push lower. Did we react to any demand? Any discount? No, not really. Let me double check on the one on the H4. So, so we are phase C pullback. Our internal structure is still down there. Would that count that as internal or no? Or just fractal? Let me just check. So that's internal. We had the IBOS, continuation IBOS again. That's our fractal structure, which pushed higher. We then got another internal structure with our low. We swept that low. We didn't get any inducement, so we swept that low. We switched bullish. We kept demand, fresh newly demand there. We swept and we swept low and swept and shifted bearish on the fractal structure. Did we react from any supply? No, not really. Are we in EQ yet? Let me double check. Yes, we're in EQ. Even though we swept that high, wouldn't that count as continuation towards the downside? That unmitigated, we just switched bullish. Unmitigated is very far away. We created a new low. Let me just go back a bit. So right there. So right there, that was our internal low. We didn't get an internal high yet. So we got the pullback. The first one, that's just fractal. All right, but we got a deeper significant pullback, which I would assume that's internal. Yeah, I would say so. That's enough for it to be internal. All right, that's mitigated already. So we have no real demand there. What happened is price pushed lower, give us a choke right there. So we have that demand now. That could be an entry point. Do we have any entry model? No, not really. Continue to downside and we swept that low. Okay, that's fine. Now, we swept that low. That's still the internal low swept. We got the choke, so we got that sweep of liquidity just right there. The LQ. We'll switch to bullish, giving us that shock, the bullish shock. Where's the bullish shock? Just right there. So for now, price is bullish, right? We have that demand. That's our internal high. And then 15, we failed to close above it, all right? And push lower to that demand. In our demand, we have clean LC1 here. Where is that? LC1, so fake break. So let's wait for price to give us an entry. All right, it just broke it. Perfect, lovely. So we do not even think about getting a trade there, even though, looking at it, It doesn't look like an internal low. I would still count that as internal because that's fractal. That's fractal as well. So we have fractal structure both in both of them, right? So that's fractal. That's fractal too. Wouldn't count that as internal because it's in the lead and it's in the leg inducement, right? Both of them are fractal. We just had the pullback now after the shock, so we're still looking for price to come to one of deeper levels to mitigate. We swept the highs, so that's not a good sign to see if you want to look for buys. So that was the liquidation. We have that high, internal high. We swept, we shifted bearish. We got that shock there, right? So that's our internal high. At 15, perfect. And that's our internal low. There you go. So let's wait and see what price will do. So it's already 4. All right, let's skip to next session. Okay. So what happened in H4? All right, we pushed higher. We're in we mitigated discount. All right. Daily didn't give us yet a shock or anything that suggests we can go higher. Although we're at a daily fractal demand or H4 fractal demand. So we could see any potential longs from here unless we get a break below. So because I'm looking to long, I'm looking to take price higher into extreme demand, into extreme supply. I don't have any level that we reacted from. Although we're in discount, we're in a premium already, mitigated premium. I'm still looking for longs. We're basically at our extreme. So here is the moment to be aggressive. Did we get an LC2A? Probably. So price probably gave us an LC2A, right? I would say. So that's high, you mitigated, that was tagged there. You'll be tagged there. So that should be the entry point about there. 2 pip stop loss. That's right there. Yeah, so because the high is there, that's the fractal structure. Let me just draw the fractal structure. Just that's the fractal structure. Fractal structure is still bearish. We're technically trading against the fractal structure, but it's an internal price. We're at extreme. At any moment, we could see price continuing higher. We mitigated that high. We have that mitigated supply right there in the M15. We could see reaction from there, but for now, we can long until there. So at 6:15, we have an LC2A. I'm just gonna take that one. LC2A right there. So that was a fake break. That was the chalk. That was the chalk, and that was the liquidation. That was liquidation candle. Should be the entry. Already passed. I would cover the lows anyway. So we have that as our entry for now. And yeah, I would cover the lows. So I'll put perhaps 2 pip stop loss. No, not even. Perhaps just 1 pip stop loss. So it'll be like 26. There you go. All right, let's see if we can get our 1.123, and then we can target the high, the internal high. All right, good to know. And yeah, there we go, 123. Quick and easy. Yeah, not much to say. Internal price reacted from the internal low. We pulled back, clean fractal structure. We're still bearish in our fractal structure. Chalk line is there, but again, we're looking at price to continue push higher. into potentially supply, into potentially extreme supply in the H4. So I'm still looking for price to go higher. Internal is bullish. Price reacted from the extreme demand. Give us an LC2A. Wasn't there for the LC2A entry, but even if I was there, I'll take the entry here. Covered lows as well. Price just pushed higher. I just took the entry right there, tagged us, then pushed higher. Let's see if we will get a truck. Yep, we got the truck right there. All right. So that's the trade. Let me just log it quickly with screens and everything. Let me just go there. Boom, log it right there. So that's our 15-minute internal structure. All right. Let me just log it. It'll be there. How are we looking in 5 minutes? There you go. I'll be right there. 5 minute, boom. And H4 is looking good as well. Especially because we had enough risk reward until the chop line. So that was fine for me to target, as if fractal structure continued bearish, then we probably would get a bit of risk reward until we continued bearish. So that was in our favor as well. That's H4. All right. We got trade. The trade, we got it into, what hour was it? It was exactly 6:45. Wow. 13 January, 13/1, 26. It was 6:45. London session, of course. Euro USD. It was an LC2A. It was, I would say it was high probability. No, I'll count it as medium, just because we mitigated already the EQ. It was phase C, no news, and it was 1.6. 1.6. Let me just put it as 0.6 just so I can get my target correctly. That was 91. I mean 9.1. Yep, there you go. Let me just go here. Summary 0.3 and targets should be 3.3. So EU 3.3. There you go. Stop loss buffer 2 pips on each. If you're wondering what I'm doing, that's what I'm doing. 3.3, 3.3. Years 2026. Or at least let me just put 2026 there. 2023, 2024, 5, and 6. 2026. There you go. Do I have it there? Perfect. Lovely. All right. So that was the trade. Now let's see if price would potentially push higher into. Let's see if price would push higher into the internal high and break it. All right. So we got the chalk. That's our M15 chalk. All right. Let's see if we have any demands that we can look at. So let's say all demands are mitigated, to be fair. So that's not really a valid trade to take or anything. There isn't any valid demands here. So that demand is mitigated there. That demand is mitigated as well. Although, yeah, this is the most logical one because we did mitigated the 50% range of it. So I could see price just continuing bullish from there, to be fair, and using that low as a liquidity sweep. So that's exactly what happened. Did we have any entry? Yeah, we did. That was a clean entry, but again, I wouldn't really put that as a high probability trade. Yeah. Let me see half an hour, 30-minute how it looks like. Yeah, I can see that. I mean that's the extreme, right? So that's the extreme um that's the extreme supply demand. And we mitigated that range, the whole range. So I can see that. Yeah, I can see that. Sure. Price pushed higher. Let's see if we can get any more momentum to the upside. So if in any case you'll trade that trade, right? So let's say that'll be the trade. Sure, I think it's valid as well. If that was the trade, let's see, half an hour, and you take the whole range. All right, you get the mitigation. All right, we have an inducement right there. That would be your fake break point. So that'll be the fake break. That'll be the entry point with the 2 pip buffer. And yeah, you'll be in the trade still. You'll be in the trade still. Okay. Now let's see if I'm not. Of course, I'm not taking that trade. I took the high probability one, which is at the extreme. Now that we got the chalk, Yes, it has more confirmation, but I don't have a clear level to look from for buys from. So that wouldn't count it as medium. It's like lower medium probability trade, not even in the medium range. So I wouldn't count it. So it just pushed higher, continued bullish. Let's see if price then can perhaps continue clear intentions to the upside. We have that demand right there. Has the inducement in front of it, so can be used as inducement. Um, so this could be used as inducement. All right, that's fractal structure as well. We have inducement. Let's see if price will perhaps mitigate that level or just push higher. Yeah, so we mitigated that level. LC to A from the extreme supply demand. Sorry. So did we get any chalk? So became bearish there. Okay. Price push lower, below. So that'll be our chalk line. Did we get any? No. Did we get any new LC to A? No, not really. And wow, price pushed lower. 19.2. All right, no worries. So that's why this trade was very risky, because you get your 122, but you're not sure of how price will react, right? Because yes, we pushed higher and we became bullish in a sense where fractal structure became bullish, but again, you're trading fractal structure, which is not ideal, especially when you're trading away from the internal demand. So let's see. So that trade was good. We got our profit. Price went to 127. I mean, eventually, I would say that realistically, I would not put a 2 pip stop loss. So I'll probably get like maybe a 3-4 pip stop loss. TP is 1 to 3.3, and or even a 5, let's say a 5 pip stop loss. TP would be at 1 to 3.3, and you'll get your profit, right? Why I wouldn't hold price till the internal high? Just because it's not a swing structure. If I had that as my swing structure and these as my internal structures, then that will be fine, because I could trade from internal to internal into the weak swing high. Because this is internal, I'm not sure where to draw the line and be decisive with the fractal structure, because this all is fractal structure. So I'll be more than happy to just take my profit and just call it a day. That's all. So let's continue. So we didn't yet break our internal low, still valid. It's just that we had a sweep now. So we had that shifting structure, that fractal shifting structure. All right. So I'll call it just a fractal shifting structure. All right, we saw that low. Didn't break yet. So let's see if we get any bullish reaction. Oh, there we go. All right. So we had news at 1:30. which did exactly what I expected. Just swept the low, pushed higher, because that was the catalyst. That was the best. That was the whole idea of the trade, is to continue higher into that internal high. But there was a news at 130, so it's better to just close it and keep it simple for that trade right there. So we swept liquidity of the internal low. We switched bullish right there. Fractal switch bullish again. Let's see if we get any type of entry. Not really. Alright, 230. We're gonna sweep and push higher after these lows. Did it create any sort of a choker or something? No, not even. Let me just double check. Um, I mean, we pushed higher. You can call that. So we pushed higher, pulled back, right? Created an internal high, pushed through it. So that was, or that's supposed to be a daily. I mean, a choke, M15 choke. I mean, M5 choke. So that will be fake break. That'll be choke followed by fake break just there. So that would be your entry point, but is it really in a demand or anything? If you take the whole range, then yes. Would I take the whole range? Probably not. Just reckon that momentum is very big, but also keep in mind that we just swept that high. We couldn't really break above it, even with news, so I'll be very cautious, not take that trade. Just keep it in mind, but yeah. Alright, there we go. Now we broke structure. So here is where everything changes. So we got that bullish continuation to the upside. Try to play that swing, pull back until the swing internal, swing a strong high. But I didn't. Price just mitigated some random supply. All right, give us a choke. I'm not sure if that choke will hold, but I think that's enough. So we had that choke, H4 choke right there. We could see price continuing bearish again, but it would be disrespecting my whole idea and potentially price pushing lower. So I'll be cautious of looking for shorts here because we're not in an ideal environment, although we mitigated the premium. So let's see what price will do. All right, so there was an IBOS. All right, that was our IBOS. M15 IBOS. Reacted to that level, pushed a bit higher. So yeah, that will stay my internal high for now. Let's see if we get any new internal range. That'll be just fractal as fractal there. And let's go to the next session. All right. So next session, we came back to our previous M15 high that caused us the IBOS. All right, not the extreme of it though. We didn't get any choke for now. That's our chop line. Let's wait. We have nothing. Just consolidation, just range in. Okay, so we got our choke line. So our fractal is bullish for now. That doesn't mean anything. We just perhaps go in for a quick pullback until the internal high or until the supply. So we have that supply that we need to be cautious of. All right. We didn't mitigate it yet, but we could at any time. Mitigation. Entry. Let's see if there's any sort of short opportunity in here. So if I wanted to follow, which I should, I think, if I wanted to follow the internal, I mean the H4 direction, right, that would be my internal demand right there, and that'll be inducement for that demand. All right, if I'll look for shorts from internal demand, internal supplies, then the only unmitigated supply that I can think of or that I can see is we have that one, to be fair, right? Um, did I count it? Oh, you have that one as well. Has inducement in front of it. We could see a potentially short position from here, or a continuation to the downside from here. That could be an ideal as well. So let's see. Price reacted from that demand, push lower, give us a choke. Price started pull back. Now, would that hold or not, especially when we have this amount of inducement in front of it? Mitigation, price gave us an LC2A just right there, so that would be our choke line. Yes, and that'll be our liquidation. And once mitigated, that'll be our liquidation candle, just right there. We can't put our stop loss above the level because it's too big. Let's see. So H4 is bearish. Alright, swing is bearish as well. We have that swing range. Swing low M15. Internal is bearish. We shifted bearish after mitigating some supply in premium, so that'll be internal. We didn't mitigate really the discount. I mean the premium, but that's normal. We just shifted structure, so I wouldn't be too keen on keeping that. We have our supply has inducement pro. It's phase A. Our next supply would be just right there, which is very hard for price to reach. Our extreme supply would be there. Yes, we didn't mitigate any high probability level, but we had a very big sweep and shift of momentum. Let's see in the H4 if that makes sense. Yeah, we reacted to that level. It's not the best again. It's not the best level. Was it a daily level by any chance? Could be, but again, I'm not looking for shorts. I mean, with the whole idea, the whole image of playing the price higher, even though we got that whole mitigation and whole eyeballs, etc. I'll probably just wait for a choke. So I'll probably wait for this line to go. And what could happen is price just respect this demand, this fractal demand, and push higher. That could happen too. So for it, I'm just gonna wait, but I'm just gonna put the trade, but not take it. Let's see. All right. Yeah, that happened. So that's exactly what I was afraid of, is for price to potentially push a bit lower and then push higher. So that's what happened. We got the choke right there. So we became bearish, but then quickly we just shifted bullish. Give us another LC2A, but would I consider that? Probably not. I'm waiting for more confirmation. Price just reacted, gave us another bullish confirmation to the upside, and now it begins to become messy. So let's just skip to next session and see if price pushed higher or lower. All right. So price pushed lower eventually, and give us another eyeballs. Push lower eventually, but yeah. I mean, let's see. If I would target that swing low, would taking that trade be good? Let's say I took that trade there. If I covered low the highs, alright, and just target 1 through 3 for swing low, would that be enough? Would we hit the target? Potentially, maybe. But yeah, that's why I didn't take it. I mean, I could do that, but it's just not clean of a move, I would say. Not that clean. Counter what I'm looking at in the daily internal. Not very clean. choppy price action. We have this whole consolidation. We broke above it. Yes, we had the chalk, but then pushed right through it. So it's not really worth it for me to even look for trades there. There, my session ended. So it's not really looking good for price. Yeah, so I think it's good that I didn't take that trade. Let's see. We got another eyeballs right there. Right, so that one was another eyeballs. You have a new range, new internal range. Right, that's our new internal range. We set the highs right there. You have our extreme. Do we have any unmitigated level? This one is mitigated. All right. All of them are mitigated. All of these levels are mitigated, to be fair. So nothing really, uh, nothing really is something that I want to get involved in. We had that shock right there. Did we mitigate any deeper level, perhaps? Oh, not really. But we could still continue bullish from here, right? I mean, that's not. We're still respecting the daily demand, so at any point we can just continue bullish. And also, I'm not convinced of this reaction and this IBOS. Not really convincing. So I just wait. We'll wait for an IBOS. We can't do really anything here. So we got that chalk right there. Chalk line. Price push lower. We have our unmitigated supply just right there. High is too far to cover it. Not looking for trades, just seeing if we get any opportunities right there. Price push lower. All right, and we broke that low. 130. Yeah, we broke that low. And that trade would be still valid if we just push lower, right? If we just cover the highs, perhaps. Maybe that would be valid. But again, wasn't the best or brightest idea. We had the consolidation range. Price could just push lower, perhaps. If we cover the high, then it will be nice. We could target the swing low, but again, that'll defy my whole point of why I was looking for an entry there, a bullish entry there. Let's see. Let's see. Was it really an opportunity right there? But I take it. I'm not sure, you know. This wasn't even a trade as well. I mean, it didn't give us any entry, even though it gave us a chalk about where was the entry. Nowhere. Um, Reacted to this level, but I mean, this has already been mitigated, so it's like, no. Perhaps if you put that whole level, but again, it's been mitigated as well, so. Let's say if we took that trade, how would we look? If we took that LC1, the LC2A, sorry, there. All right, let's say we covered the highs for 10 pips up. All right. Target 123.3 till the lows. We could still hit TP. I would say that could be a good trade. It would take a few days. So January 14th till like the next day at 12. I'll take a few days, but maybe it's worth it, you know. Bearish, even though we didn't mitigate that one. We have no unmitigated levels there. Price just shifted bearish. This doesn't look great for sells, but doesn't look great for buys either. We mitigated one of one of the supplies. Yeah, that was a fractal supply, to be fair. That's an inside bar. So that was a fractal supply. Daily fractal supply, so I could see why price reacted from here. I could see it. How does it look on the weekly? Yeah, I could see why price reacted from here. Let's say Yeah, there we go. I can see why. So yeah, that could be trade. That could be trade. I'll just keep it there and see what can be done um, to improve that kind of trades, especially the ones that you have a clear range and a clear supply above them. Anytime you could just sweep those ranges, give us an LC to A, get the entry, but then you need to cover the highs. You need to. That's the rule. Price then pushed lower and just um, gave us a new internal range. You could then put perhaps the stop loss to break even, and then he went to TP, right? So that was our swing, our weak swing low. So that doesn't surprise me that we respected it and we pushed lower. Our new range, our new internal range would be this one then. It would be that one, yeah. Um, that's our internal high, right? And do we have any fresh supplies? We do. That's our only fresh supply. Pushed price lower. Broke structure. That's our flip. So this is a good supply. We don't have we don't have inducement in front of it, so that's maybe not the best. But yeah. Right, swing high. That's our new swing high. All right. And yeah, now we're bearish and swing high as well. Let me just document this one, and then we can continue and take a look at the internal daily and H4 and see where we get from there. All right, let's do a quick recap of what happened. So so basically we were bearish on the H4, right? Daily started the pullback, gave us a choke right there. We started the pullback. I thought price would react from this level, but eventually it didn't, which is fine. It gave us a quick move to the upside though. We reacted from this daily supply. We then pushed lower on the H4. Looks like this. So we shifted the bearish. All right. Price pulled back to supply to H4 supply. It pulled back to premium. I was expecting price to push a bit higher, but once it gave us the choke, it confirmed that this internal pullback or this pullback is done, and now we're ready to push lower, which was fine by me as well. Yeah, so once we just pushed lower, we had that inducement for this internal internal swing supply or internal H4 supply, sorry. I expected price to give us any sort of reaction from there. So price then basically just that was our internal high, that was our internal low, or that was our internal high, internal low. Price then um, reacted from, I mean, it created some consolidation here, pushed higher into our supply. It then gave us the LC to A. I took the trade, stop loss above the highs or above the POI, target the weak low, which it hits exactly, and it pushed through it right for our 123 was already there, so it was fine. We held through the night and it pushed lower into like 1 p.m. of the next day, which is totally fine. Here we didn't get any trade. That was our internal high and internal low. Price just pushed higher into this mitigated supply level. So I didn't like the level. We didn't get any trade. We had the choke, but then price didn't give us any entry model there. So that was fine, but price then broke the level, and yeah. So now we're still bearish. Let's see if we get any sort of retracement or any sort of internal structure, and then we could look for an iBoss to play phase C. Let's see. So we got a small internal structure right there. So that was the high, internal high. That was the internal low, right? Let's see if we get the boss. We set that high, all right. So we close above. So that was the iBoss. And 15. Also, we're past our trading session, so I'll just skip to the next London session. Let's just skip and see what happened. All right. So swing high, swing low. Did we react from any previous level or no? Let's see. Did we react from? Yeah, we reacted from that level, but we need more confirmation to just make sure that price would continue higher. We don't have any chalk on the H4, so we could just potentially push lower, you know. I just need to update this chart. So that's our swing high. That's mitigated. Just remove that from our chart. We have this supply right there. It's been mitigated by pip, so we'll just count it as mitigated as well. And we have this last unmitigated flip right there. This has been mitigated as well. Yeah. Lovely. All right, so could price just continue bullish from here? It could. It didn't give us any chalk. We're not waiting for any chalk. That's fine because it's just a push to the downside. So let's just follow the internal structure until proven otherwise, right? So we got the IBOS there. That would be our internal structure, our internal low, and that would be our internal high. Next thing is to draw our Fibonacci, and then next thing is to see if we have any mitigated demand or any mitigated demand to look from. So this been mitigated there, and 15. This was mitigated there as well. All right, this been mitigated as well. So we don't really have any clear demand to look from buys from. We have a choke right there. So fractal structure is bearish for now. Right, price could react to this level because of course we didn't mitigate half of it, so it could, but yeah, I'm not confident about that, so we'll see. Let's see what would happen. All right, so we got a choke right there. All right, so that's the internal structure. Price just swept liquidity there. All right, shifted bullish. Price reacted to the demand and then give us another choke. Let's see. Let's check on the H4 just to make sure. All right, so so you got our IBOS. Price pushed to downside. We didn't get any choke yet, right? But once we got a sweep of liquidity there, LQ, then we got our choke. So price started pushing higher. All right. So we got that shock. Also, price reacted from this demand, sweeping all the previous lows. So sweeping that low right there. All right. Price then reacted from this and mitigated demand, but still, we didn't mitigate the half of it, but it reacted from it. So that was not ideal, but yeah. It pushed higher. All right. Where was our chalk line? So that's above. So our chalk line is still there. Price pushed lower. Give us an eye chalk there, but I wouldn't count that as really high probability trade, right? Or high probability mitigation. Yeah. We have an LC2A, but again, this is not high probability, to be fair. I don't like this. It's not really something that I would look for. All right. We got another IBOS. Let me just double check if I didn't miss anything, right? Because I could. So this was our demand, but it was mitigated. Did we get a push higher there? Yeah, we did. All right, so we got that choke there, which is nice to see. Let me just remove that one. So we got that choke there, right? What caused that shock? I would say is that candle. We could just take the whole range right there. Right. Um, we had that low. That was our fake break. Hold on. That was our LC1. So technically your entry should be somewhere around there, but this is not ideal, you know. But then after forming too many candle, I think the ideal would be to wait for an LC to A, I would say. We didn't get that. Yeah. But I then look for any opportunity, something like this, or no. Uncovered lows. And then potentially target, but we're counter trending there, so potentially target there. Hmm. I'm not quite sure, you know. I'm not quite sure. Especially with this trade, because your entry should have been there, okay? And your stop loss should have been like perhaps protecting the lows there. So a 1 to 2 to the highs, that's not really worth it. Considering the amount of sell-in pressure we already have, so I wouldn't say that that's worth it, you know. So yeah, not for me, not a good trade, I think. So let us go next. All right, we have a new IBOS. Let's just draw our support, our demand. So that's the only demand that I could see, the only mitigated demand that I could see. That makes sense to me, right? So it has inducement as well. We have an IBOS. So a continuation of the move there. All right, so that's our internal low. Beautiful internal low. All right, let us just draw our um, premium and discount, our fib, just to make sure we're not in EQ yet. We're not in EQ range yet. So, all right, let's see if price will give us any sort of pullback. All right, we started the pullback. Obviously, this is not a good level for me. I mean, it is a flip, right? But doesn't have any inducement in it. It's not really well priced for me to look for trades, so I'll just pass it. This level has the inducement in front of it. LQ. Yeah, also you'll take the trade there, potentially get stopped out. So yeah, I'll still look for. Okay, so we have a fake break there. Let's see if we get any. Oh, all right, perfect. So let's see if we get any. Um, what do you call it? Any liquidation? Yeah, we got the liquidation there. We mitigated the level. We're bullish. All right. We reacted to a very, very nice level. This level is in discount, of course. Has inducement, swaps liquidity before. So yeah, I like it. I like it very much. This is a very, very good level for me. And I'm very happy to take an entry here. I'm very happy. So let's just double check how the M15 looks. The H4 looks. All right, that looks fine. That looks fine to me. So yeah, let's see if we're gonna get tagged in this trade. All right, we're in. Um, stop 60, of course, to pip buffer. Let's see if we get our 1 to 3 to the highs. Let's just double check. So that level, I'll just copy it in case we react from this level, right? We could react from this level. If we do, then yeah, that'll be the only place to really. I mean, it's in discount as well, but just shift to the bearish. We could just react from here and continue. This is tricky. This is a bit tricky. Let's see. Could be reacting from this level. But yeah, I mean everything is okay. It could be reacting then from the weekly demand. So I wouldn't be surprised if I see a push higher. All right. For now, would our trade goes to TP? I'm not sure, but you know, just to secure it, once price goes to this, perhaps this level, I'll put my stop loss to break even, I think, and then target the 123, the classic 123. But for now, let's just see how price react from this level and see if it gets any higher. Oh, ooh, okay. What was that? Was that news or something? Hmm. Friday 16 at half past or at yeah 15:30 I think. So let me just double check. If that wasn't used, then I'll probably not trade. Um, well, like at least put my stop loss to break even after. Yeah, put my stops to break even. I would say. So let me just double check if that was some use on any or anything, because that's not normal, right? Let's see. Friday 16, 2026. So 16, apply setting. Let's see. No, there was no news. Wow. Okay. Maybe something happened. I'm not sure what happened, but perhaps some talk or something happened on that day. All right. No worries. We'll take that loss. That's fine. Totally fine. So we'll take that loss. Yeah. I mean, it was a perfect trade. That's literally like textbook trade. I would take it every day. Very good trade. Yeah. I'll take it. No worries. No worries. Let me just push or uh, put it as a loss. I'll just take some screenshots. Wait, let me just remove that. So there you go. So copy link. Now I just put it in my trade journal, and then we'll continue from there. So that was the entry. Very clean entry. Very clean model. Everything is clean. Everything was perfect, I think. Um, my entry was perfect. My stop were perfect. So oh, we mitigated that level. All right, that makes sense then. That makes sense why we pushed so strong to the downside. I wouldn't be surprised. Yeah. I was expecting it to push from this level, but that's fine. Um, once we pushed higher, then I was fine with accepting the loss. That's totally fine. I'm okay with it. I'm okay with it. At the end of the time, at the end of thingy, I'm trading counter trend, so that's fine by me. All right, boom. So my entry was at 1320, so 120. Perfect. That day was the 16th of June, of January 2026. That was New York. That was Euro USD. That was an LC2A, medium probability, and it was phase C as well. We had no news, and that was 4 pip stop loss, and they just hit my stop loss, which is totally fine. Yeah, not bad, not bad. All right, let's go next. All right, so let's continue from there. So we have NIBOS, right? So we created a new internal high right there. I mean, once we created the internal high, my stop loss could go below that low, right? And I wouldn't be risking the whole amount. But I'll be risking like perhaps let's see, I'll be risking a bit less. So like 20% less, which is or 30% less, which is still not too bad. The goal is to minimize the losses, so I wouldn't say it's too bad. And then I will go through more examples and see if I can perhaps minimize the losses, if that makes sense, you know. Um, yeah, so we got the eyeballs there. Clean reaction, clean push to downside. So we have our new internal high there. All right. And we have a new support, I mean supply, sorry, right there. All right, let's just put our swing or weak swing low there, weak swing M15 low. So that'll be the weak one. All right. It's good. We're learning quite a few tricks with this market, especially with this new volatility that's happening in the market since Trump has been president, right? It's been very strange, to be fair, to me at least. It's been very strange. A lot of volatility and a lot of unpredictable price action in this 2026. Um, so yeah, all right, let's continue. Let's see what's happening. We just pushed through it. Lovely. All right. What we can do is we can skip to next London session because it's already 4 p.m. So let's go through next London session. Oh wow. All right. Oh, all right. Nice. Okay, let's see. Let's see what is happening in the H4. Okay. So I would officially say that this is our swing low, but let's not put it there now. All right. Um, So we got our choke just right there, if that makes sense. That inside bar was first, but then we pushed lower. That inside bar was our fractal high. We broke it, so that's our choke. So that would be our choke. Also, I might be doing a I might be doing a big mistake here because technically, all right, if you count it, um, yeah, technically, this is our this is our swing low. All right, H4 swing low, that's our swing high. Old structure right there is just internal. But I mean, this is too big of an internal to count it, because or else what would you call these um, fractal highs and lows, right? So I just called it as internal, you know, as swing structure, and I'm just following it. But um, although I'm following it, I'm keeping in mind that truck is a big factor in this internal structure, right? So if we get chalk, that can be um, reason for price to potentially start a pullback or something, right? So um, I'm just keeping that in mind, right? So we shifted bullish. Um, to be fair, we're still in an area where we can see price continue lower. We can still see that, right? But let me just fix the medium time frame just so I can see what's happening. So we had the break right there, right? And we had another, so when we had that break, okay, that became our, ooh, that's nice to see. Okay, let's see. So first of all, that was our internal, our swing pullback. Priced pulled back and then gave us an IBOS and a boss. All right, so we have a new range right now, which is, so would I call this a swing? Potentially not. I will just, so when we got that break, right, we had that internal break as well. All right, so that would be our swing structure, but it got broken, so that's a boss. All right, and that's our swing structure then. M15, of course, that's our swing low. We know that this yeah, we know that internal is bullish after we got the IBOS right there. So we continued bullish for a bit. Why I counted that as internal? Because for me, this counts same as this one, so same as internal. That's the same kind of range in pullback. But this whole thing, this whole pullback formed of multiple internal structures. That's what I would call a swing structure. So for me, that's swing, and we just broke it right there, and that's our internal. Yeah. So we're bullish. We're in phase A2. That's our internal low. I mean, yeah, internal low, exactly. That's our internal structure. So this is our internal structure. That's our internal high. All right. Okay, what happened then? So did we get a chalk yet? Yeah, we got a chalk there. That could be a significant move or significant alert that price is now ready to shift and continue bullish. All right. Um, so we have that demand there. Do we have any unmitigated demand perhaps? We have this big range right there. It's been mitigated, so I don't see any really reason for price to continue lower. You know, we mitigated the flip. We just shifted bullish. We could see a continuation from this flip, right? M15 is still bullish, so let's see. We got that shock there, so let's see if we have any mitigated demand that we can look for price to react from, right? Um, so what I'm looking at is, all right, since we got that shock, do we have any unmitigated demand that caused us that shock, right? All I can see is that we have this demand, right? But I think we mitigated it with that candle, bearish candle. Yeah, I would say so. I would say that we mitigated it, but let's just keep that in mind. Let's just keep it there. We have this demand as well, right? But this demand, we didn't really mitigate anything with it, right? So it's still fresh. Let's see if perhaps we could get any sort of reaction from there. Well, lovely. Well, we just pushed higher, so yeah, lovely, lovely. All right, so we had the beautiful continuation, beautiful internal continuation right there. Um, you know what? When I look at it this way, that still seems to be the swing structure to me, still. Although we broke it to the upside. Because I'm looking at this pullback and I'm looking at it the same way here as well. So yeah, you know what? Forget what I said. This is still the swing pullback to me. Forget what I just said. So this would be irrelevant, but this would be our IBOS, our M15 IBOS there, right? Um, this would be an IBOS rather than a boss, all right? And we created structure, so this would be phase C. Price gave us a chalk. Unfortunately, it didn't give us any entry confirmation. And price just pushed higher, right? It didn't give us any LC2A, nothing. I mean, perhaps you can find or squeeze an LC1 here or there, but yeah, it wasn't clear enough for me, so I would just pass it. We broke this level, so that's fine. We could indeed still follow the internal until we break this level, right? So I'm happy to do that. And let's see what we got. We have this demand. Doesn't have any inducement in it, right? So let's just be wary of that, but still. It's there. This is our internal low. Let's see if we get price to push lower. All right, perfect. Now, this is our, we have this as our unmitigated demand. We have that as well. Could we maybe merge them in one? Because this candle engulfs everything. We could just take this whole range right there, to be fair. That's more like it, I would say. Has inducement in front of it. All right. And yeah, let's see if price perhaps give us any entry. So, all right, we got an entry there, but we didn't get any mitigation of the level. We got mitigation of that level. No, I don't see any entry, although we could continue higher from there. No, all right. We push lower. Yeah, in this scenario, I would never go for an LC1 just because it's too big of range, right? So I just wait and see. Okay, so we got a chalk there. Let's see if we get any LC2A. So just to make sure, we are basically in a phase C pullback. So phase C pullback. This is our internal low, internal high, internal low has inducement in it. So it's a bit higher probability that price would just continue bullish, right? From this level, especially as it's the extreme. We didn't get any we can't get any LC1 to be fair from there, right? So we didn't get any choke here. So I'm just waiting for an LC to A. We got it. Now let's see if we get our entry confirmation. All right, we just pushed lower. Lovely. Let's reassess and see what happened. So we didn't have any. All right, I can see what happened there. So we didn't have any. What do you call it? Wait. So sorry, just 1 second. So this would be our sweep of LQ. Yeah, just sweep of LQ, I would say. Boom, LQ H4. Would we continue bearish then? We'll see. So we swept that high. All right, we swept those highs. We didn't have any liquidity in front of the level, so probably we would sweep that high, right? There you go. We got our chalk. So after chalk, at any moment we can just push lower, right? It's the low. We could just push lower. This is our newly found supply. H4. Now internal shifted bearish. Where from? After we served that high, right? So let's just keep it simple and just follow the internal structure. We're pro internal structure, pro swing, so let's just follow both of them and see how it goes, yeah? So that's our internal high. Okay. Where is it? That's our internal high, right? We just shifted to downside, so at any moment you can just react from the flip and continue. We don't need to react from the extreme, right? So also we already mitigated the extreme right there. We have still a refined extreme, but that's fine. So we'll get to there when we get to that level, right? So for now, let's just keep it simple. Let's just keep it simple. Let's wait for price to perhaps give us any. Okay, so we broke. Let's just wait for price to give us any confirmation entry. Nothing yet, nothing yet. We don't have any LC1. So that was a eye chalk. Did we get any? Did we get any structure in the above? No, we didn't get any structure. Would we get any perhaps internal LC2A there? Would that count? So fractal low. We got that chalk there. I mean, to be fair, why not? It would count. Why not? 12 is opening. We could just continue lower, right? But this is our flip. Flip swap liquidity there. Just a small liquidity there. It's not. It's well priced. We could see reaction. I didn't like this close. Yeah, we could just see a continuation, a bullish continuation from this level. To be fair, I mean, you know, although we got the chalk, but it's not really that strong. Internal structure is not strong. This internal thingy is not really worth trading, I would say. All right, let me decide if this is worth trading or not. So we shifted bearish. That was not a strong close. I didn't like that close at all. We could have just shifted bullish at any moment. We have a lot of momentum, a lot of bullish momentum here as well. So should I take it or not? We didn't even react from a level that I liked. We could push lower, to be fair, after chalk. Did we mitigate even? Yeah, we did. We gave us a chalk. This was our, let's call it internal structure, right? After chalk, so we didn't close below that low, but that's fine. So that's our internal high. We have that level, sort of liquidity of it, and then push lower. Daily, how is it looking? Hmm. So we got that chalk. Let's see in the 1 hour. Yeah, it doesn't look strong. It doesn't look strong to me. It doesn't look strong to me. Let's just see if we get tagged. No, and we break. Okay, perfect then. All right. No worries, no worries, no worries. I mean, I wouldn't take it because it's too many red flags, right? We don't have any inducement in the level. This level doesn't have any inducement, so probably we'll get run through. Um, Also, we're trading with the eye chalk, if that makes sense. Like, this is not really, this is not high probability, you know? You're trading with the internal structure in the H4 just to get an LC2A. No, not worth my time, not worth my trade, so let's just skip through it, right? So I would consider that as just a, you know, a sweep of LQ. There you go. So let's see if price will perhaps give us anything. All right, so there's that level, right? That demand. Let's see if price will mitigate that demand. No, just pushed higher and potentially will break, I would suppose. Yeah, there you go. All right, so we just swept LQ because we didn't have any liquidity there, obviously. So just swept it, liquidity there, pushed higher. All right. Let me just, yeah, let me just call it an internal structure, and that's it. You know, that's fine. Uh, Pushed higher. Right there. Did we leave any unmitigated demands? Yes. We left the extreme, which is a very important one. The extreme demand right there. All right. This has been mitigated, 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 and this hasn't, which is the flip, but it doesn't have any adjustment, so this is probably, you know, all probability, but that's fine. Let's just keep it in there, and that's our internal low. There you go. All right, let's continue. What's happening? Boom, 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 boom. All right, so it's past 4, so let's go to next session. All right, we'll do the last day, and then we'll continue probably later during another video, because this is getting a bit too long of a video. So we pushed higher. What's happening in daily? Let me see the daily. Daily is the main factor here. Right there. So we just, ooh, okay, this is interesting. So we just had the truck in the daily, all right? We mitigated that level, all right? Which is the weekly, as I said, this is the weekly demand. And we got that shock, all right? Let me just make it clear. We got that shock there. Bum. We got that daily shock, all right? Now, that means that our daily internal pullback shifted and became bullish, right? So we could technically still look for longs now. Excuse me. So we could potentially look for longs, as this chalk signified that this internal pullback has ended. We came into an area of value, a POI of value in discount. We got that chalk, so this must be strong to push price higher. Now we could just see price continuing and breaking the daily internal high. So let's say in the H4 how it does look. All right. So we got that chalk there, and then price took there, whatever, and then we pushed higher, higher, higher. So for now, this is a strong area or a strong level to just look for price to push from. All right. Just from this, what I can say is we can already expect this to break, although it's not a certitude, it's not 100% science. But we could expect this to break because we have no unmitigated supply. All of them are weak resistances or weak supplies. Um, yeah, weak resistances that we can just go and break or pass through. So yeah, let me just take a look in the M15 and see how it's looking. So we had that level. Let's just keep our chart OCD clean. So we had those two levels. That one has been mitigated. Lovely. And we just pushed higher. So that was our swing low, our internal low, sorry. We just broke it there. Boom. And yeah, that's a fractal one because this looks like the lid structure, so that's a fractal for sure. We reacted to that low and pushed higher. So do we have any unmitigated supply demands? Sorry, yes, that one. Unmitigated demand, lovely, lovely level. This one has been mitigated. We have that one, but it's not mitigated. It doesn't have any inducement. So the only one that I'm looking at and I'm seeing is this one. Has inducement in front of it. Lovely level. So yeah, let me just check how it does fall, how this level falls into our structure. Boom. All right. H4. I mean, not H4. Sorry. Let's just make it as gray. Let's just put it as H4. Let's go to H4 and just put it back again to our time frame. Boom, boom. All right, let's go to H. Wow, there we go. All right, there we go. Let's just continue trading the internal. Although you could say that we're past the EQ, but I'm trading internal, expecting a reversal, expecting the swing high to break. And how am I expecting the swing high to break? Looking at higher time frames, that's how I'm expecting it to break. So let's see. Let's see if we get anything. So 645. We have no choke line there, so we would probably get one. And okay, lovely. Well, lovely. We got a boss then. Okay, we didn't. I mean, it didn't give us any opportunities, but that's totally fine. So we got that M15 boss finally. There. Okay, lovely. Yeah. Will we get anything then? Since I mean, that should be an internal. I will count that as internal as well. Do we have any? Do we have any demands? I just put that one there, down there, down there. Right, do we have any demand? Perhaps there. That's M15 demand. And yeah, we just pushed higher. That's a chalk. Yeah, didn't respect it. Created another internal structure. Just right there. Right, let's just keep pushing. Let's see what press will do. Chalk. Will we respect that one? Yes. Oh my days, what's that? I'm not sure what that is, but that's a big ass news. Let's see if we will respect it. And yeah, it's 5, so let's just skip to the next London session and see how it goes. That was our low. We broke it, so that's an IBOS. And I'm probably gonna stop here, but let me just do my analysis first. So we swept that low, we swept those lows there. LQ15. Right, we have that supply mitigated. That one is mitigated as well. There. We have a sweep of LQ there, whatever. We have a sweep there. There, followed by chalk, which is lovely to see. So followed by a chalk, M15 chalk. I mean, no, this is a sweep. Followed by chalk right there. M15 chalk, yep, lovely. So that's our, for now, that's our internal low. All right. And that's our internal high. All right. Do we have any supplies that we can take trades from? Yes, sir. We do have this supply right there. All right, let's just cover the highs. There you go. It's been mitigated there. This extreme has been mitigated. So we have this flip. I mean, not flip, but yeah, which probably just because that's to have the truck. So this is an unmitigated supply that price is potentially looking to react from. What happened in the H4? So we have our iBoss, our boss. Let's just call it a boss there. So a boss H4, right? So we have a new range. This is our swing low. And we're looking for price to potentially give us a new swing high. Um, yeah, beautiful push to the upside, beautiful. So we're looking for price to continue bullish, but for now we could see potentially a sweet or a small pullback into these levels and then potentially continue higher, right? So yeah, let's see what price will give us. This is our still our swing internal low. I would call that our swing internal high. This is strong now. Strong now, yeah. And yeah, let's see what price will give us. So recap of what we got. So did we get two trades? Was it two trades? Yeah, I think so. It was win and loss. So first one was on the 14th. So around that level. Well, that was our first win. Beautiful trade. It was good. I mean, we were bearish. Internal was bearish as well. It was phase A. Price just reacted from a supply, created consolidation, broke it, give us LC to A, right? Straight off the consolidation, and we just took the trade. We put our stop above uh, above the unmitigated supply or the POI just to make sure that we are safe, and price just pushed lower, right? Our second trade was just it was there. So price reacted to our internal demand, gave us beautiful, beautiful LC2A entry, took the trade, price went higher. I'm not yet sure if I should potentially put my stop to break even once we got a new high or new range, or maybe just put my stop and trail it, like trim my stops to the last low, as if that breaks, then we don't want to stay in the trade, and that way I could perhaps lose less, if that makes sense. Um, but that's only once we get a new internal high and our internal low resets, right? So yeah, then we get the iBoss, push the price higher. So that was our loss. We got the iBoss, push price higher, push price higher. We got that daily chalk, and then price just went skyrocketed to the upside. Yeah, now we got the iBoss. We can potentially look for sells, but only short terms, because at any point we can just continue bullish, right? Because the daily is heavily bullish. So yeah, let's see. So that was from the 12th till the 21st, which is not too bad. We'll continue the rest in on another video, but yeah. Also, I missed a trade. Wait, let me see. I think it was on 13th that I didn't talk about. Trade that was on the 13th. 13th. So would be probably somewhere around that. Let me just double check. Oh, it was that long. Yeah, of course, of course. How can I forget that? Yeah, it was that long. This was beautiful as well. Yeah. It was a 1 to 7 all the way, but realistically, if I have put like maybe 4 or 5 pips stop loss, then it would be a 1 to 4 or 1 to 3.3, 100%. So that was good as well. So 3 trades, 2 wins, 1 loss, which is not too bad.